this week's episode of the UHSussex Preceptorship podcast. I'm Harry.
I'm Gemma.
And
we're your hosts. Today we are talking about preceptorship with our registered nurse degree apprentices and the transition that these lovely people go through, going from that nurse associate role into the band 5 nursing role. So we've got two guests with us today. We've got Rachel, who you met on our first episode, who's part of our preceptorship team. Hello, Rachel. And we've got Amy.
Hello.
So Amy, can you please just share a little bit about yourself and your journey through to getting your Band 5 nursing registration?
Yep, so I started in the trust about 8.5 years ago, I think now. Started as a HCA, did the TNA course, was a nurse associate for a year, and then did the top up with the RDNA. I've sort of moved around a few different wards. I started on Boxgrove, went to Wittering, Bosham, and now I'm on Fernhurst.
Lovely, thank you. And you were part of our main preceptorship module as a nurse associate, weren't you, when you did that? So Rachel, just thinking back to when we had our first nurse degree apprentices, what was it that we were discussing that you sort of said you really felt they needed a preceptorship of their own? How did it come about? Happy to share?
Yeah, I'm happy to share. So we realised quite early on that the scope of practice for our nursing associates versus our registered nurses were quite different. And with that, although they've got a lot of experience, the expectations may be quite different to some of our newly registered nurses that are coming straight out of university. So I felt it was important that we support that transition and support that expectation as well, so that they're not being pushed into situations where we wouldn't expect our newly registered nurses to be just yet, and just to sort of provide some guidance on that change in practice and providing that more of assessment support.
Yeah. And did you find that support useful, Amy?
Yeah, definitely, because I think where we were so established in our wards that we had sort of trained on, some of us had been on them for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So the team knows you, and I think, like Rachel says, the expectations are very different from a newly qualified straight out of uni to the way we done our training.
Yeah.
So it was really important, I think, to have that support from you guys to just help with that transition and sort of just ground us again a little bit.
Rachel, can you please just explain how the sort of the RNDA preceptorship is made up, so how it looks, because it's obviously a little bit different to our main one.
And so comparing to our main preceptorship, we focused more on personal development rather than clinical development. So we looked very much at developing leadership, developing those clinical assessment skills, which you hadn't had the opportunity to practice as nursing associates, and basically sort of becoming to the point where you are sort of leading change and also supporting our new students, whether they're coming for apprenticeship or university.
Yeah. So we had our, was it 4 core days we have with us?
Yeah, so the original programme was 4 core days, but following feedback from our first cohort, which is lovely Amy and her cohort, we've actually increased it to 5 days now, just to reflect on some of the areas that were fed back as sort of needing support more around like assertiveness and challenging behaviour and decision making. So we've added some bits in based on the feedback, and it's a constantly developing programme. It's still very new. We're just about to start its second rotation, and we're just relying on the feedback to constantly adapt and change.
I was going to just ask if maybe we could decipher the difference between a typical nurse route, like what I did, as in for 3 years at university, and then get Band 5, and the difference between the route that you've been on, because it might not be that clear to people that don't know about people coming into their role.
Yeah. So you described your journey.
Yeah.
So you started in the job as a HCA.
So you started as an HCA.
Yeah. So I started as a HCA on Boxgrove ward, and then I applied for the trainee nurse associate role, which was a 2-year degree foundation.
And is that the only route to the RNDA that you can take?
As an apprentice, yeah.
Right, so you have to be an HCA first and then apply for the apprentice role.
Yeah.
And is that through uni or is that a position at the hospital? Is it through uni?
You apply to the hospital, to the trust, and you get interviewed and go through the application process then. And then they send you, if they agree for you to do it, then they send you to university and you have to apply and interview with them. So, like practice development would put the post out for the next, say, is it September and March usually?
Yeah.
Intake. People would apply, and then if you were successful, you would go to your manager and go, "Can you facilitate me doing this training here with you?"
Right.
If not, those conversations will be had with practice development, and
alternatives would be provided for you to then go and have conversations.
Yeah, potentially have awards might be able to facilitate. It's a bit of a juggling act, I think, in a sense, because you come out of the numbers in a sense that you won't be a HCA.
Yeah, definitely.
But because you're still apprentice and you're still getting paid, you're still part of the workforce. So they still have to fit you in their sort of staffing and budget levels and all of that. So it is, it's a bit.
Yeah, and you get a lot of support with the apprenticeship team.
Yeah.
For that part, don't you?
Yeah. It might not work for everyone that way of training.
It's nice to have the option, though, isn't it?
It definitely works for
important.
me. And because it's an apprenticeship, so you get paid the whole way through, it doesn't really stop your life in a sense. Like, obviously, you can be busy studying and all of that, but you haven't got to worry financially how you're going to support yourself or trying to pick up extra shifts just to sort of be able to go to university full time. So for me, that was the only way I would have been able to do my training.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also think when you do it for the apprenticeship, you've got to be very on top of it as well, because you are still working and studying, so you've got to be very good at keeping on top of your
time
essays.
Management is
so your time management, sort of, because so you get a day a week to go to university, but it's also having that time around that to keep that balance, but also keep that studying.
A lot of us were still working sort of 37 hours a week.
And a lot of you were still working full time.
And people, Kirsty especially, she's got children, family that you're juggling all of that and trying to work full time and study full time. It's I wouldn't say it's an easier route.
No, it's a different route.
But it's definitely a different route.
It's good.
Yeah, I think like us lot as well, being the first, have all sort of been through very similar journeys to our qualification, registered nurses. I think it has really helped having each other, and you guys sort of bring us together, sort of that once a month or whatever, once every 6 weeks together to sort of be able to share our fears and worries and anxieties and stresses, and I'm sure we had plenty of rants and moans and went off on tangents, but I think that really helped to sort of release that and actually we're not on our own doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you guys come around the ward just to check in on us, Rachel's had me in tears and having meltdowns, but I think having you guys there to help support and talk us through, this is just the transition, this is what's happening, and I have you in my head, both of you, when I'm having a bad day. So it does, definitely, absolutely worthwhile and really helped.
I think what I've really liked about seeing the development of the RNDA programme was having that sort of element where you could choose a study day that's run by the post-reg team. So you said about the Who's in Charge Me day. So if you are working on a general ward, that's quite useful for that general ward management. What other days did you choose?
We had human factors, didn't we? That was really good, that one. Well, they were all really good. We had Sim Day, I think, again, just to try and look at that. It was more sort of going from Sim being part of it as to sort of almost running.
Coming in as that senior nurse.
The senior nurse in that situation. So you're sort of building those blocks as opposed to sort of
doing it all at once.
We're really excited for the next group coming up, aren't we? And
how many have you got on?
So this group is going to be slightly different. So when Amy and her cohort came through, we were mainly based at St Richard's because that's where our first cohorts have gone through. But this time this is going to be a trust-wide
exciting
preceptorship programs that's going to be logistically entertaining, I think.
Yeah.
But we've got 10
Yeah.
this time round, and
That's good.
every year more and more are going through the process.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's only going to increase.
Yes. So just to clarify, we're in St Richard's today, which is in Chichester, but our trust spans all the way up to Brighton. So we've got 10 people from across that big, which is going to be exciting, I think, for sharing, isn't it?
Somewhere, doesn't it? And
Yeah.
then it grows, and
Yeah.
you know, it's going to be great.
What bit of advice would you give to one of these new RNDA starting? Or if you could go back to that day where you got that pin and you're first in that blue uniform on the ward, what's the one bit of advice you'd give yourself?
I think just trust the process. Like, just go with it. It'll be fine. Just, and keep asking for support. Don't just bury your head in the sand and try and get on with it, because there's always someone there to help and support. So definitely lean on others and make sure you've got that support network around you. I was very lucky with my cohort because we all got on really well, and we did sort of keep our arms around each other and look out for each other, and I think that massively helps, and I think you need that. So find that buddy that you can scream and shout at and moan to and cry to and get you through each day. It does definitely help.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And we will
see you next time.
Bye.